What we do here is go back.
How have you thought Toronto FC has started the season? Positive? Negative?
We'll leave it at this. They've started slow. Whether that matters or not down the line, time will tell. But in the Columbus game, they got pressed off the park. Literally pressed off the park. Federico Higuain, once again, he's one of my favorite players in MLS. He exposed Michael Bradley in his holding role. I don't know. I like Michael Bradley as a person. I think he's a great captain, a great leader for the city. I watched him in his days at Roma, and there he was this combative, hard-running, box-to-box engine that could play as the trequartista. And now he's trying to be the American modern-day Andrea Pirlo, dropping deep, playing these long raking passes. That's not really what his game was. Not saying that he doesn't do it well. There's two elements to that position. You gotta be the ball winner, and you could be the creator, the facilitator if you want. And I feel like whenever he comes up against top number 10s, this didn't happen in the playoffs last year. He was terrific. He was fantastic. But when he comes up against top number 10s in the league, they get him.
Yeah.
They go after him. And I thought Columbus did that. And I don't know if it's the system, the 4-4-2 diamond. That could be it, where maybe there's just too many bodies in midfield, not enough width. But they get the width from the fullbacks.
I think to that fact, he sort of struggled against Columbus, but I think against Tigres he performed much better.
Yeah,
I think when he knows he has those three men in the back line, he can move up the field where he seems to be a little more comfortable on the ball. I'm not a huge fan of seeing him drop in between the center backs because he's not the quickest player in the world. So if he has a defender running at him, he's either taking them down for a foul or they're just going to blow right past him.
Yeah, I might beat him in a 100-meter dash still, if we're going to be real. See, there's two sides to that, because I don't think Tigres were interested in pressing him or even touching him. I felt like the game was... They played similar systems. I felt like it canceled each other out. I felt that when TFC had the ball, Tigres kind of sat back and focused on keeping their shape. And then the TFC, it was weird. The wing backs pushed forward, and then when they lost the ball, it was vice versa. Whereas no one was really picking up Bradley, so he had more freedom to play his game. No one was really putting the press on any of the Tigres midfielders either, specifically Vasquez. And I thought that's kind of where Bradley kind of got the pass. It'll be interesting to see if they continue with the 3-5-2, which everyone thinks is the formation they should play, and I'm not going against it. But I don't. It's really tough to use yesterday's game as the definitive answer as to whether they should continue to play that way, because I thought they just upped the intensity in the second half, and they pressed harder and they worked harder. And I thought Giovinco, opposed to standing aligned with Altidore like he tends to do, or just trying to move into one area of the pitch, I thought he mixed it up a bit. And I thought that with the Tigres midfield kind of just laying off, they overloaded that central space, and there was really no one picking up Giovinco at times. And that was pivotal to what he could do, because he's good when he comes from deep. He could beat you 1v1. He could beat you on the dribble. But I feel like he hasn't been utilizing that enough lately.
He's been sort of stuck up front, just trying to play off of Altidore.
Yeah.
Like, they've shown in the past that they have great communication and they can play off one another.
Yeah.
But your ability to mix it up.
Yeah. And it's nice when they do.
Yeah. But when they don't, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Altidore scored, but sometimes off the ball, he frustrates me so much, where I feel like he's this physical presence and he often doesn't use it.
Yeah.
And he sometimes complains too much and is always whining off the ball and stuff.
By far the biggest baby in the I've seen. Like, I watch him just like, what are you complaining about? What is the issue? What's wrong?
Yeah.
And he has a little mouth. He likes to talk a lot too. And it's like I saw him talking like after they won the game. Like he was talking, he was chirping, and I was like, "Man, you
Come on, man, take your dub and just go on."
You know, you could go to Mexico and get spanked.
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different game in Mexico because you can tell those players were struggling in those conditions as well. That pitch was awful.
Apparently, they didn't like warm up. They like warmed up for like 18 minutes and then they left because it was too cold or something.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah. So when they get back at home, I think to me that's going to be TFC's true test, their barometer.
Yeah.
To see where they are in terms of, is this team turning into a top quality side or are they just MLS good?
Yes.
Because in this competition, there's a big difference. There's a reason why the Mexican teams have won it 9 times in a row, because there's clearly a gulf in class between the Mexican sides and the MLS sides.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be interesting to see if TFC are up to that.
Pans out. I think this TFC side's a bit different, and I think they spent like I think they have it's really weird. We got to get some MLS someone who's been following the league on like religiously in terms of the allocation money and all that to explain how they have the luxury to have all these great players. And when I compare their roster to other teams, it doesn't even compare.
It's not fair.
Doesn't even compare.
Guys like Ekerte, who just came in, or the Brazilian, he would be a starter on every other team in the league. So
it doesn't even compare.
Is there a cap, like in other North American sports?
Yeah, there is, and then there's
probably like a luxury tax that you can pay.
And then
there's like basketball and stuff. You can pay this tax, and like the Leafs do, and all that stuff, right? So they're spending. Thankfully, they're finally spending the money. Well, not finally, because they've spent the money before, but it never seemed to pan out.
Exactly.
But at least now they're buying quality pieces. Like I think Aro, to me, I think he's better than Vanderveel. Like from what I've seen in the short stints, I think
Vanderveel hasn't had a good start. It's a bit early. But
Yeah. It's been 2 games he's played. He didn't play in the first game, so we'll give him that credit. He's got to adapt as well.
Yeah,
and that surface isn't helping anybody out. When you're over in Europe playing on surfaces that are top quality, and then now you come over here and because of the weather, it's not the best right now.
Yeah,
obviously it's going to improve, but that's going to be interesting to see as well how he settles into the game. Because I thought he was good getting up the field. I thought he got beat a couple times too easily in defense. Like he just wasn't up to game speed, and I guess that could be another factor as well because he wasn't getting games in at Cagliari.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I thought Mavinga was potentially for me their man of the match.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
Yeah, he was winning aerial duels, everything.
He his athleticism, his everything, that last ditch tackle at the end of the game.
Yeah, game saver.
To me, I don't know if you remember Daniil Henry, but he's a better, more polished Daniil Henry.
Yeah.
That's what I think of Chris Mavinga, and I think they did well there.
They locked him up for a couple of years today. They signed a contract
today, right?
extension.
Yeah, that's well deserved.
Good on them. I'd like to see them get a third center back
because I'm not sold on Zabaleta.
No. And even more.
Moore's age. He's aging
solely based on that.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them, instead of getting an extra midfielder where it might not be needed right now.
Yeah,
they have a ton, right?
Yeah.
Just to solidify that back line would be good. And I'm sure that's on the agenda next.
I want to see more of Nick Hagelin this season. I want to see if he could take his game to the next level. Aerial threat on set pieces, superb. But I just want to see if he can raise it to the next level defensively and play in both systems and get a good run of games where he plays well. But I'm with you on the defense, where I like Mavinga, but the other two, I think they can
be exposed. And we've seen that against Columbus.
Yeah.
Higuain found space where he should have been tracked, right? But it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
The Jovinko Altidore, that's not really going to change, so we know what we're going to get from them.
Do you see Delgado stealing that spot from the Brazilian? Or is that going to be just a battle, a rotation all year long?
I guess it'll be a battle and a rotation.
He was good last night or against Tigres.
Yeah, he's one of the better players.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna blame the misplaced passes that he made, because he made quite a few, due to the pitch. I'm gonna blame the pitch. it's really tough to say what I feel about him and Osorio. Because, yes, I know we're going to go with this. They do their defensive work. They provide the balance. They can retain possession well. I just feel like they got to do more.
I just find that interesting because, like, I don't know what more they need to do, like, in terms of what role are you looking for them to take up?
Well, what is their role right now?
For me, it's two guys that work extremely hard. I think Osorio doesn't get enough credit for being how good he is on the ball. I think he's got great feet. He's a great dribbler. And they're not players that have to be amazing passers. They need to be able to link the play. If they can be those players who link play with one another, but also link the attack, and can also cover Morrow on one side and Van der Wiel or Aro, whoever plays on that opposite side, if they can do that, then I think there's nothing more that needs to be there. Like, we seen it on the weekend when Delgado didn't play and Akerti played, or I'm not exactly... Akeche, however you want to pronounce it. They seem to lack that little bit of extra something in defense because he's more of a on the ball. They've compared him actually to Victor Vasquez. Yeah. They said he's like the second coming of him type of thing, a younger him. And I think there needs to be a balance, and I personally think that Delgado and Osorio provide that. Granted, they miss chances, they make mistakes. We've seen Osorio saved his game because he blew the first chance he got over the net.
You mean when he luckily backheeled out? There's no way in hell that he intentionally did that.
Come on, I'm giving him credit for that.
I'm not.
I think the keeper could have done better. It goes underneath his arm. But I'm giving him credit for the back heel. I got to do that at least.
Yo, that...
Speechless.
That effort he missed.
Yeah, the one over the net in the first half. He's got to bury that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I could see why you want somebody with a little bit extra class to finish a chance like that. Because if they go up 1-0, that could change the game. Who knows what stems from that?
I just don't think he offers much around the penalty box. It's nice that you can retain possession, that you can move into space, and it's nice that you could do the defensive work. But I think Akeche is going to take the job because, one, he seems like a player that can help control the tempo of the game. He looks like he has somewhat of an end product. He could find the final pass. He could play a final pass. And I feel that he's more polished. And I feel like he should. I'm not going to say he's going to. I feel like what a rough game to give him to opening day against Columbus and to have him on the same side as Van der Wiel. There's no understanding there. There's nothing there for him. So I give him the benefit of the doubt because, one, they threw him into what obviously TFC could have won the game. They have the better team overall, but into a situation that doesn't really bode well in his favor. Whereas I look at Osorio, and yeah, he has good footwork. I could recall him beating two defenders in the start of the second half, but I just feel like everything's just like he makes it 10 times harder
than it has to be.
He looks like he's just working 10 times harder, and we got to applaud his work rate. And yeah, he does. There are certain elements of his game that as well, but like I don't know. I feel like people are taking it to a whole new level. I don't know if I'm watching the same player. Or maybe I'm being too harsh on him.
Listen, I don't think he's a world beater. I don't by no stretch of the imagination.
Well, I'd walk out of this room if you told me. I'd walk out of the studio and drop the mic if you told me he was a world beater.
No stretch of the imagination. I just think he's doing his job. And now that also comes down to longevity. How long can he be consistent for? Because we've seen him play in very good spurts before. Yeah. But will he be able to do it on a consistent basis?
Well, hashtag TFC Live didn't do me justice because I asked them to break down why is Osorio rated so highly, and not one of them could tell me something. So because they've been quiet, and I'm going to ask this question every single week, regardless if he plays well or not, until I get an answer. And until they give me an answer, I'm just going to assume that he shouldn't be rated so highly because they're not giving me an answer. I know people watch that hashtag. I'll hashtag every TFC hashtag I have to until I get my answer.
I'm going to go stand outside Downsview Park and wait till he rolls up.
Wait till he rolls up.
And ask him what he does well. Because he's pretty confident.
He is very confident. He's always been that confident. I've played against him.
Okay.
So
This is because you've seen like in person on the ball, so you have a different.
Oh no! Because when I played against him in the past, I could say that he is nowhere near the player that he is now, and I think he's developed into a very good player, and I think he's done well to reach to the heights that he has, and like I don't want this to seem like I'm like out here trying to tarnish his name or like
of course.
Take from his plate, but at the same time, I could make the case where I could understand why he starts, but I don't think he's as good as they're making him out to be. Like Soccer by Ives, I retweeted this. Jonathan Osorio really is one of the league's most underrated players, gets overshadowed on stacked team, would be headlining talent on some other teams. I disagree with the last part. That is it. He could be one of the league's most underrated players. I'm not going to dispute that. And I'm not going to say that he doesn't get overshadowed, but I don't know if you put Jonathan Osorio on an average MLS team and he's headlining midfielder. And if he is, that could be a problem. But that's how I see it, right? And
I think that's a fair assumption.
And the second one, and I think I think he has a good shout, and that's why I said I need answers. Please tell me Osorio isn't deserving of a starting spot for Canada, or I think this is a starting spot now, guys. Do you think he's warranted a starting spot in that TFC starting 11?
Week in and week out at this point, yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Because the other option is the new guy?
Well, if we're basing it off the body of work since the finals, then yeah.
Then yeah, I think you got to ride with who's hot.
Yeah.
At least that's my view on players and how they're performing is whoever's performing, you have to go with that. Until he proves otherwise, then I think he deserves his spot.
No, I agree. I think his best game of his career was in that final, and he should never forget that final. And he should use that final as fuel and as a template on how he should play on a week in and week out basis, and use that as the motivation to reach new heights. The same person that tweeted that said that they don't understand how he doesn't start for the Canadian national team. That's for a different debate. I'm not going to say he shouldn't be on the Canadian national team. He probably should, given who else is starting in that midfield. But look, Osario's a hot name in the city right now. He's from the city. There's going to be some emotional ties towards it. I'm just telling you, with all sheer honesty, that I think he needs to do more.
That's fair. Like, I'm not going to knock you for wanting more out of a player. I'm just interested in like the aspect or like what specifically you'd like him to see, like what you want him to grow into being.
Because I don't think this is my final point. I don't think Jonathan Osorio wants to be renowned for being a hardworking midfield dynamo that just covers the boxes and is able to provide balance and protect his wing backs or protect his full backs, or to be the player that just retains the ball and spreads it horizontally side to side. I don't think that's the player Jonathan Osorio wants to be.
If that's the player he wants to be, then he's gonna have to go elsewhere.
And I don't think he could be more and still have that element to his game. That's where I'm coming from.
I don't think he can be that in this team. I think the way it's constructed now, there's too many players who are, I don't want to say better than him, but provide more in the attacking sense, that he's not going to get that time on the ball. He's not taking time on the ball from Victor Vasquez. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
But I still think he could improve that aspect of his game and maybe not be the main provider, the main creator, but still have that in him, or still have the goals in him, to that in this case where they need it, or not even if they need it on a weekly basis, but he could be able to create an opportunity or create a chance out of nothing, or for himself to force the keeper's hand or score a goal. I don't think he has to be the main guy, but I think elevate his game to be that player. I think he has those tools that you've mentioned, but I don't think he wants to be that player. You could tell him the way he plays, the way he dribbles the ball, the way he tries to play that defensive splitting pass, but he can't get it off, the way he breaks into the box. If he wanted to be the player, that player that you mentioned, that like the tools that he has now, if he wants to just be that, I don't think he'd be breaking into the box trying to score goals or have the audacity to score a back heel goal. It's a good goal, but I just don't think he meant to do it. and that's my gripe with him, is that I know deep down, and I don't know, maybe one day we'll ask him, but he doesn't want to be that player. He wants to be more. And I feel he feels like he could be more.
I think when you say that, I can understand where you're coming from, because we've seen even in comments that he said that he's like sort of hinted at the fact that I want to move on to something bigger and better.
Yeah.
Like you showed me that article and I read it and I was taken aback by, okay, I agree, confidence is good, but like to what extent is confidence good? Why are you talking about leaving this team onto a European better side when you're not the best player on this team? He fits this role that he's currently playing.
Yeah.
But then I agree with you, and does he fit that role somewhere else?
Yeah.
Where he now is asked to do more and there's not attention on a Javinko, on an Altidore, when two defenders can mark what he's doing.
Yeah.
That in that aspect, then I can definitely see where you're coming from. I think in this role, if he accepts this role and decides to be this player, I think he can strive in Toronto.
I'll end it on this. With his aspirations, man, if Kyle Laren's playing for a flipping Besiktas and a Champions League-esque team, if I'm Jonathan Osorio, of course I'm wanting to play in Europe or some big South American team. If that dude could do it, no knock to you. You got your bag, Kyle. Jonathan, like I fully agree that he should be making those comments. He should be trying to do it. I think he could. I think from his work ethic and the person that, I don't know him well, but the person that I've competed against a long time ago, I think that he could be that player that he wants to be. But until I see it, I can't say otherwise. But I think that's the player he wants to be. And I think I agree with you. He, based on form, he does deserve to be in the TFC starting spot. But that don't mean he gets a pass.
No, of course not.
Well, I'm just saying that doesn't mean I'm going to give him a pass.
Yeah.
Everyone else give him a pass.
And I hear you on that. I get you. Now I see where you're coming from.
But I'm not going to give him a pass, because I still think that he doesn't do enough. It doesn't mean he's got to score a goal every week. It doesn't mean he has to create an assist every week. But I just think there's little things to his game and he's still young. There's little things to his game that he can improve before I'm going to confidently give him that title.
I'm on a Osorio watch now.
Yeah. We're on a lot of watches. So, don't be scared, because we'll be watching you, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna tell it how it is. Harry Kane's one of them, and Iniesta's one of them. Everyone's on notice. The InnerViews organic soccer/football content. We're here daily on YouTube. The InnerViews, we're here weekly. This week you got a double dose, but we're here weekly on iTunes. Subscribe now. If you don't subscribe, you're going to see me on Instagram telling you to subscribe. You don't want me to do that, so get it done. Anything else you want to say for today?
No, we got a good weekend ahead. We got some Liverpool United,
some Napoli Inter.
So it'll be another interesting
TFC Montreal Impact.
Definitely be on the lookout for this more constant TFC.
Yeah. We're here. We're going to tell you how it is, Reds Nation. TFC, #TFC Live.
Red Patch Boys.
Yeah. If you agree with what we say, subscribe.
Shout out to the guys in the corner who had no shirts on the whole game.
Yeah, you guys are
wild. That's wild.
You guys are wild.
That's how we're ending this. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, we want to interview you guys one day, like on some real shit, and we just want to find out like
I'm gonna go do like a Red Patch vlog where I spend a day with them.
Yeah, you're doing that by yourself.
Go to the field, see what they do pre-match, after the match.
Hey,
that's some wild shit.
If you do that, you're the man. I swear you should do it. That's crazy.
Good show.
But yeah, you guys should subscribe too. And if you don't agree with what we say, let us know why. You know where to find us. We'll be hashtagging. You'll see the InnerViews. Respond. We don't bite, but we will reply back. But with that being said, it's your boy Tyrrell.
It's your guy Fab.
And we out.
We out.